Man, oh man, am I proud to be an American on this fine, final day of Black History Month 2025. Let's go. I'm proud to be an American today. I'm very proud. I'm very proud. President Trump sent a clear message to the entire world today. And I have to say that for the most part, President Trump is doing almost everything that I voted for him to do.
Look at my African American.
He's doing everything I asked him to do.
Are you the greatest?
Everything almost everything that I voted for him to do, he is doing. Now, in case you've been hiding under a goddamn rock all day, all right, FYI, President Trump literally kicked Vladimir Zelenskyy, who is the current president of Ukraine, out of the White House today. Okay, he kicked him out of the White House after he took it upon himself to backtalk and challenge the president and the vice president in front of the entire world, like live in 4K. And man, oh man, did it not end well for him. Okay, so real quick, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to that video and play about 8 or 9 minutes of it so you can see for yourself how a real president handles himself with these entitled countries thinking that the US owes them something. All right, so let's get to that. Let's get to that. Give me a second, let me get this up. All right, here we go, right here. Now, y'all watch President Trump, man. He was in rare form today. Him and J.D. Vance, by the way. All right, let's get it.
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" It doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe.
Now here we see President Trump trying to be diplomatic and explaining to people he's not aligned with anybody. He wants peace. He's trying to do his best job so that so World War III doesn't spark off and people start blowing each other off the map. Because this conflict does very well much have the potential to do that. Now, I know y'all not used to seeing somebody put people in their place like this, but this is what a real president does. Okay, a real president doesn't stand up in the Oval Office barely being able to speak with a goddamn diaper on. We had 4 years of that already, and what did that do? It got Zelenskyy rich because we gave this motherfucker damn near $500 billion for a war that he cannot win. All right, so let's get it.
I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So
now here's where things start to take a turn. Here's where Zelenskyy gets a little too big for his britches. Here's where it happens, right here.
he occupied it, our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I
he
was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken the...
Like, okay, real quick, do you guys understand what we're watching right here? Right? They bought this idiot out just to do a press run to announce to the world the new deal that they had gotten between him, Russia, and the US. Okay, and if you're not aware, the deal is that we offer our protection services to Ukraine and keep Russia off their back as long as Ukraine agrees to give us a portion of their cobalt. If you don't know what cobalt is, look it up. it's a very expensive mineral that Ukraine has a ton of. Okay, and the deal that we're looking at is like $500 billion a year in, $500 billion a year in cobalt. So they bought him out literally just to talk about that, sign the paper and roll. But Zelenskyy couldn't hold it in. He had to get off his 2 cents to try to tell JD Vance and President Trump how he felt about the situation, when in actuality, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter how you feel because you don't hold the cards in this situation. We hold the cards. And they're going to explain that to him in a few.
This ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr.
are not-
President.
Boom! I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country. Mr. Zelenskyy wants to talk about what's fair and who did this and who did that. Sir, you don't have the clout to discuss fairness. Okay? We're trying to keep you alive. And you want to talk about what's fair. You don't have the money, you don't have the manpower, and you don't have the guns to discuss fairness with Putin or fairness with the United States of America. That's his problem. He doesn't realize it, NATO doesn't realize it, and most of you liberals out here don't realize it. The United States is not here to be the attack dog for the rest of the goddamn free world. We're not here for that. But apparently, we've had such soft leadership over the past few years that that's what people think. Because Zelenskyy thinks he can take his little punk ass up to our White House and talk to the Vice President of the United States like we owe him something. We don't owe you shit. We've already given you $500 billion.
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine? Did you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, You bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all,
Right there. That's when you shut up and get back in line. But nope.
during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us. Us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position.
I
You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're-
Do you see this? You coming to me to beg for money and protection, but you want to talk over me on national television in my house. Like I'm supposed to stop talking and listen to you. This shit is crazy, bro. This is crazy. And you ought to see you ought to see the liberal outlets. They're saying that this man is brave. He was a brave man that stood up to Trump. Let's go, man.
I'm very serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you think
You're
about-
gambling with
what do you
World
think
War
about-
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
you.
Far more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once? This
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in.
Cooking his ass. Let's go.
Big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I...
You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying-
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
your
said
stupid
thank-
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak-
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
except
times
that there,
thank you
except
to
that-
American people.
Except that there are disagreements.
Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor real quick. If you're watching live on Instagram, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit the like button for me. Hit the share button. Also, if you're on X, do the same thing. All right? Help us get off into the algorithm. Also, don't forget to comment in the live chat below. It helps the algorithm put us on the map just a little bit more. Okay? Thank you very much.
And let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and you
He's trying to tell this man, shut your mouth and be thankful. But he keeps talking. Like, if it's one thing everybody ought to know at this point, the last thing you want to do is try to overtalk President Trump, especially when you're not on his level, especially when you need him. You're not going to overtalk this man. This man is literally putting his country in jeopardy right now. Putin is sitting back licking his chops. Because if Zelenskyy can't fix this situation, it's over. It's over. If Zelenskyy can't reconcile this shit with Trump, it is over. Because Trump already talked, like, you got nothing without us. We hold the cards. All he literally had to do was come, sign the Cobalt agreement. Boom. You're good to go. Russia's off your ass. Ceasefire. Your men stop getting slaughtered. And you can live your life. But no.
Your men stop getting killed.
Of course we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire?
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
Doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what
That wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was with
wasn't
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your,
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make, because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
Well, what if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam. And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia. The 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people...
Bro, he's cooking this dude, bro. Let's go. It's almost over.
People are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough.
So there we have it. Okay? There we have it. Now, not only did Trump silence this joker for the whole entire world to see, okay? Rumor is he canceled their lunch date and kicked his ass out of the White House for good measure. All right, check this out. This is a report from Fox News. This happened right after this happened. This report from Fox News came out. All right, hold on, give me a second. Here we go.
This is what I was told. The president has kicked Zelenskyy out of the White House. His delegation right now is telling him that he's got to go home. The president felt disrespected. Officials in the room felt that beyond the language barrier that we've heard some discussion about, Zelenskyy's body language, shrugging and eye rolling, was ungrateful, disrespectful, and the president feels that Zelenskyy is not ready for peace and he can come back when he's ready to talk about peace, but he's not in that position right now, and Zelenskyy is being told he's got to go. The lunch that they were supposed to have is sitting right outside the hallway, and the press staffers are going to be eating that lunch. This is really pretty incredible. We see the
Jackie,
SUV,
hang on with us for a
Zelensky's
moment. If you
SUV.
look to your left, you're going to see.
Kick his ass up out of there. America's back, baby. Let's go, man.
Yeah, let's watch.
Is the deal off? President Zelenskyy, can you tell us what happened?
All right, now, real quick, I want to show you guys real quick what Trump had to say after this. All right, so I'm gonna go to what Trump posted on Truth Social right after this. Classic. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Here's what Trump posted right after that shit. All right, boom. All right, so Trump says, we had a very meaningful meeting in the White House today. Much was learned that could never be understood without conversation under such fire and pressure. It's amazing what comes out through emotion. And I have determined that President Zelenskyy is not ready for peace if America is involved, because he feels our involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations. I don't want advantage. I want peace. He disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he's ready for peace. So there it is. There it is. Now, as I stated earlier, this is how a president is supposed to move. Okay? We've already sent these idiots $350 billion for a war they had no chance of winning. And half of that money, might I add, they don't even know where it is. They can't even account for it. So not only are we sending this dude money for a losing war, he's stealing it and pocketing most of it and giving it out to his friends. And to top it off, this nigga has the nerve to walk his punk ass up into the White House and act like we're the ones that need him. All he had to do was sign the Cobalt deal. All he had to do was sign the deal to ensure that we get our $500 billion back, and in turn, we keep Russia off his ass. And in turn for keeping Russia off his ass, he can keep what's left of his crumbling country. But see, that wasn't good enough for him. That wasn't good enough for him because he was so used to that old man Biden just handing them blank checks that he got delusional in the sense that he doesn't realize that the American people don't give a shit about Ukraine. The American people don't give a shit about Ukraine or NATO. We don't want to be involved in any of this nonsense. And it's funny too, because you got the Western European and NATO media and liberal media in the US calling Zelenskyy a hero for standing up to Trump. But I bet you your next paycheck that they ain't about to hop they soft asses into that conflict with Russia without us. Because Russia will wipe the floor with them all. The entire NATO needs to come to Washington, D.C. and kiss the ring. The American people aren't interested in being Europeans' attack dog any longer. We paid more into this war than any of the goddamn NATO countries combined. So if NATO is upset, oh well. What they gonna do about it? Trump don't want to be in NATO no more anyways, and neither do the American people. So it's simple. It's either Zelenskyy signs over that cobalt or Putin sticks his foot further in their asses. That's it, and that's all. I mean, this fool, like I said, got damn near $500 billion up, all the way up on us. And still has the nerve to pull up and ask for more. Trump ain't no goddamn fool. See, Zelenskyy wants what he can't have. And that's that land that Russia annexed from them over the past 20 years. See, instead of just accepting this reality and moving on for the good of his country's people, he chooses greed. He chooses greed over common sense. Also, his attempts to join NATO are also a huge concern for Russia. See, Ukraine joining NATO or flirting with the fact of joining NATO, right? That would be like China trying to put up a military base in Tijuana, Mexico. All right? If that were to happen, we'd be striking that shit down day one. Day one. At the end of the day, Russia has the right to do what's best for its national security, just like we do. Okay? With the amount of violations that NATO has committed since 1991, like we have no actual argument against any of the things that Russia's been doing. The amount of shit that NATO's done since 1991 that violate the agreement they had when they broke down the Berlin Wall, the amount of violations is egregious, right? NATO wasn't supposed to expand 1 inch past East Germany. Okay, now look, they all the way damn near in Ukraine now. So what the hell is Russia supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? Sit back and let it happen? Let the agreements just get defaulted on? Nah. I'm surprised they haven't done more. So technically, in a technical sense, they're justified in taking action.